When searching for homes for sale, you may come across listings that note the home is an estate sale or is being sold by a personal representative. What does this mean for you, and what should you look out for when buying an estate? Hi, I'm Francine Viola, Realtor in Olympia, Washington, helping both buyers and sellers. Buyers have questions when they see a home is listed as an estate. Here are the 5 main differences with buying an estate versus a typical resale home. First, what is an estate? An estate property is where the owner has died and the home is now being sold by their estate. The person handling the estate sale is usually the estate's personal representative. When buyers purchase an estate in Olympia or in anywhere in Washington, title will be conveyed by a bargain and sale deed. This is different than the typical home sale where title is conveyed by a statutory warranty deed. The differences between these two types of deeds is the level of promises or guarantees from the seller to the buyer. The short answer is the bargain and sale deed has limited promises and only promises to the buyer that the estate seller owns the property and can convey it, and there are no encumbrances against the property during the estate seller's ownership. With a statutory warranty deed, the seller also promises the buyer that there are no encumbrances against the property, no one with a better claim will interfere with the new owner, and the seller will defend against claims regarding the title to the property. This can sound a little scary, but here's what buyers can do. Just like with any other home purchase, you will have a title company involved who will run a search to look for title defects, liens, and other issues, and will provide a title insurance policy that will help settle any claims that may come up. This is the same process as you'd go through with a typical home purchase. A seller disclosure statement is a document that is completed by the seller about the property. The purpose of this document is for the seller to disclose any material facts or defects to the buyer based on the seller's actual knowledge of the property. For example, the seller is asked if there are any defects with the components of the home. Has the roof leaked within the last 5 years? Is there a homeowner association, and what are those dues? Are there any assessments, and has there been any flooding? Things like that. With an estate sale, the seller is exempt from providing buyers a seller disclosure statement. Even though an estate does not have to complete this, they still have an obligation to disclose known material facts. But what buyers can do is to have a professional home inspection. Just do like you would with any other home purchase. In a typical sale where the seller provides the buyer with this disclosure statement, which can be great information for buyers, many times after the buyer has an inspection, the buyer knows more about the home than the seller. Some buyers may be curious if the homeowner died in the home. Here in Washington, this is not considered a material fact and is not something that is required to be disclosed. Furthermore, the fact or suspicion that the property or any neighboring property is or was the site of a murder, suicide, or other death, rape or other sex crime, assault or other violent crime, robbery or burglary, illegal drug activity, gang-related activity, political or religious activity, or other act, occurrence, or use not adversely affecting the physical condition of the title to the property is not a material fact that the licensee must disclose. Some of my clients have been adamant that they will not buy a home if a death has occurred. It will be very difficult to find that information if the seller can't or won't provide it. In that case, maybe new construction might be a better option for you. Most of the estate listings I see will say the home is being sold as is. Technically, here in Olympia, all properties are sold as is because repairs to a home are negotiated. There is not a legal or other requirement that the seller must make any type of repairs for a buyer for a home sale. Depending upon the issue, the seller may not be able to sell the property, but the seller does not have to do any repairs or corrections for a buyer. So what can a buyer do? Again, I would recommend buyers conduct their own professional home inspection to have a further understanding of the home and its condition. From here, the estate seller may not want to conduct repairs, but maybe they would be open to offering a credit or a price reduction in lieu of the buyer's requested repairs. With estates, there could be different scenarios that may delay the closing, or it may take extra time for the estate seller to review the offer or to respond to buyer inquiries. This could lead to the transaction taking a little bit more extra time. Common instances that could slow the transaction include there could be multiple heirs who are selling the property and they all need to come to an agreement. The estate seller may be out of the area, in another time zone, in another country. The probate process has not been completed before the property was listed. So how do you protect yourself? Ask about the person or persons who are handling the estate and if the probate process has been completed. Also, plan your move in case the transaction is delayed. In conclusion, the process of buying an estate is not much different than buying any other resale home, but there are a few variances. Most estate buyers will experience a very smooth transaction, and buyers shouldn't shy away from estate sales. With diligent inspections and a title report, buyers can be confident in their estate purchase. One more note, estate sales are sold at market value for their location, size, and condition, just like any other property. Some buyers look for estates thinking they are getting a great deal. Most of the time, that's just not the case. If you are interested in buying an estate, a resale home, or new construction, call me and let's discuss your housing options and what you can expect. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.